Hello, welcome to our show, Embracing Your Design for Midlife Transformation. The tagline, Come Alive to Impact More Lives. As a tiny habits coach, happy for no reason trainer, and a Gene Keys guide, I invite soulful professionals to have conversations related to their life experiences, businesses, human design charts, and hologenetic profiles based on gene keys and ancient I Ching. Enjoy our show.
Hello, this is my honor and pleasure to have Glenda Benevides to join me as my guest. She is just amazing. Well, as a singer since she was only 16, but she traveled around the world and involved with a lot of filmmaking and fundraisers, and she loved just to share her fire voice with people. And I'm just so happy she is here with us. Glenda, want to say hi to our audience?
Xie xie.
Well, the other talent I didn't share, she speaks different language too.
A few, just a little bit. Yeah.
Just as I said, she's award-winning singer and also have a lot of experience in the artistic talents. So I'm so happy here she's willing to share her stories, how she become who she is today. Glenda, you want to share some exciting story? We'd love to listen to it.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. You're so delightful. It's lovely to meet you. My story, goodness. I think, if you want to go to foundations, because that's really where I like to start, is at the core of things. Like anytime we have a problem, there's a solution. You just need to find it. And it's usually not band-aiding things. So I look for myself in that area. I really believe that I always had a passion and a desire to understand myself and to understand why I did the things that I did or why people were the way they were. How could I, and always at that core of that was, how do we all connect? How do we all get along? How do we understand each other? And I think that's one of the things I loved about traveling and going through the world, spending a lot of time in Asia and knowing that Western culture is quite different than an Eastern culture. And there's so much beauty and jewels to be had from that culture. And I was so fortunate to have met and performed through my touring and everything with a variety of people in different cultures. And not all Asian culture is the same, which, everybody tries to blanket it. Oh, it's just going to be Japanese, Chinese, whatever, all the same. No. That's not actually. And they all have their upsides and downsides, just like we do too here. And we're a multi-cultured society here. So for my path, I think I started out with that, and that just kind of led me to traveling and touring with my music. And the more that I did it, the more excellence I procured in my own talent, my own ability. And then I got to be an ambassador for my country, hopefully, giving people from other countries an opportunity to say, here's the positive thing about America or an American. I started touring when I was probably about, I think, officially singing at 16 professionally. It was my first paycheck. I was at a wedding. And I'll never forget it. And then after that, I worked with a booking agency, probably about a year or two after that, right out of high school. And then I started touring. That's when with my bands, and then just kept evolving myself over time. Not only as a human being, but as, really sorting my contribution out, like, who am I and what do I have to offer? And there's their value. And what is that value that I'm bringing? And how do I uplift people and leave them in a better space than when I walk through the door?
Yeah, what a beautiful way to describe your passion. I really admire people who has this way to express themselves other than just talking, either through art, singing, or even just kind of silent presence, people can feel that power. And I think, and we all know that now, right? The modern science, we are actually tuned into the sound better than the words. When we see a painting or hear the voice, or even just passing by somebody, you can feel something coming from that connection. So I wonder, it's because when you're young, such a young age, start to have your expression. Is there any grow up experience that you discover you can perform?
What you just said was right on. It is a vibration, right? That the sound we make, the words that we choose have a vibration unto their own self, and each community has each culture also has a meaning that goes to that word. So that is, which creates a vibration, which creates an experience, right? I don't recall a time that I ever said that or even noticed. It was just like automatic, if that makes sense. Like I was fortunate. I was one of the kids that got to have music in my school for free. So you didn't have to have your parents pay privately, which is kind of what we do now. I just automatically I don't know, started playing music, doing singing, just singing. And I heard music and I sang with it. It was nothing. It was just natural, I guess. That's all I got to say. And it was never a moment where I went, maybe I should sing. Yeah. I just followed that intuition. I followed that feeling. I followed that, that people like that. That makes a difference. They're smiling now,
I think you're totally tuning to your environment. That explains your human design chart pretty much there.
Which is crazy.
Yes, because this show, I really love to share those genius within people if they are not aware. And the human design system is one of the system I really fascinated, because you can go high and low. You can go like zoom in and zoom out, whichever you choose to. It's all inside that system. You are, the profile wise, you are 6'2". So in the human design got lines, and they're from 1 to 6. They are based on the ancient I Ching, the hexagram, because they are the yin and yang, but each can be two different combinations. So for 6 line, they have totally 64 different archetypes based on the combination. And as a 6'2", that explains me a lot about your natural talents, because see the human design like a 2-story house, right? So the number 1 to 3 line people, they are basically is more the foundation, and 4 to 5, 6, they are a second floor, and 6 is on the top of the roof. But you are the 2, that actually is your design. Let's mean that unconscious expressions, and 2 in that level is the hermits. They are naturally wisdom about what they know what to do. They're not seeking out, they're just unleashed. And you are the 2. No wonder you don't even know, like you have to learn singing, you have to go piano. It just naturally flow into it, because that's the wisdom, the talents you have within. And the other line, you are 6. So the 6 and 2, think about the teacher, right, on the top of the roof, and the 2 is on the first floor. The first floor, for that 2 people, they kind of like to be alone. They wanted their own personal space. And number 6 is the same thing. They are alone sitting on the top of the roof, right? They can see what's going on there, but they are not participating with the activity. But that combination make you become wiser in a young age, but you mature through your life journey, then you become like a reviewer. You can review the talents and the wisdom through your life journey. So that is your profile. And you also, the energy type is generator. I think people understand human design as 4 different energy types. And generator, that including the manufacturing generator. Then we also have projectors, reflectors, and manufactors. But the generator type, I'm the generator, you are the pure generator too, and including the manufacturing generators, are providing the energy for those non-energy types. Everything's energy, right? So we are just even we're not talking, but people can feel our energy. So the generator is really bringing that engine everywhere we go. I wonder you have other story about, like, because artistic, you need to have a lot of inspiration, right? Like, oh, I want to do this and that. So where did you get your stories or something so push you to do some creative work?
Yeah, for me, I love adventures. I love journeys. I love going to other countries. I love traveling, going out to lunch, going to this, because then you meet people, you see situations, you hear stories, and then it just really kind of lets your mind go, like, what do people really, what's their pain point? It sounds kind of weird, but sounds very businessy, but what's really, what's really going on for them? Okay, I'll give you an example. So let's do that. So I wrote a song, it's called Pride. It's not out yet. It will be out this year. And Pride came to me through a friend of mine that had an experience, and he was so upset about it that he wrote a Facebook post. So I saw the Facebook post and I was so inspired that I felt like I had to write the song about it. And the story goes that when he pulled into a gas station, he got out and he saw this homeless man on the ground dragging himself across the like that little tarmac area. And he looked around and everybody was like, da, 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 da. No one was looking, no one cared, they didn't want to help. And he was just so outraged that he ran over and he's like, how can I help you? What do you need? Do you need some water? Do you need some help? So he was on his way to work and he was just so shattered by that whole experience that he had to write about it. And then I saw it and it inspired me to write this song about how we are in our own world and what is it that there's usually just, you're either afraid or you're loving. Yeah, fear or love, right? Those are the only two things that are going on. And so I had to write about it. So it'll be coming out like in another couple of months, but working on it now. But yeah, it's something like that, right? That's how I get inspired. That's how I see things. Sometimes I get worried that I'm not going to ever get inspired again.
I don't think that's going to be an issue because you got a wide open head. And for people like you have a totally open, your head and ajna center, that is the beautiful place you can flow in any idea, then you can entertain it, but you can also choose to let go. So you don't really hold on to that things and try to figure it out, because sometimes there's not really need to figure it out. It's just an idea, just a thoughts, right? Coming in and out. And for artists like you, that become your bank, right? Anything come in, you can kind of, can make me a song. This can do this, can do that, right? Sometimes I know some artists share, they don't even remember how they did it. Yeah. Right? It just come in and just write it down and say, how did you get that? No idea.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, totally. I have no idea. It's so true. Somebody said, well, how does that happen? And then there's times I'll be like singing and I go, I don't know who wrote this song. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how it manifested itself. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
It's the perfect match, right? Your talents, your fire, your passions, but then also you have this energetic body to support that. The other one I want to point out, you have an open splenic center. That is our intuition. That's the body awareness. So you actually, since the openness, you can feel other people's fear. You can feel their the immunity, they're getting ready to get sick, and you can feel yourself, oh, I think something is going down. So with that openness, your body awareness is very sensitive, other than the idea where your body can have sensation.
Yeah, I can actually tell when someone's actually leaving. That sounds really weird, but I've had several friends that were sick, and I went, yeah, they're not gonna hang in here, you know.
Very solid, the root, the solar plexus, and your sacral, and your heart center. That make you very grounded in a way, and your emotions is not really up and down, crazy. Me is opposite. I have wide open solar plexus. So when I was young, I'm very moody. You know, my parents would just like, you must be wiring different. Like in the morning you're happy, but the next hour you're not, and then you get better. You know, that's just like fluctuating. I learned so much about human design system because once you're aware the openness and the close, and then you become more discernment about yourself, right? You don't really judge self that much. You accept more.
You know, when you were just saying about yours is open, so is there ways that you've learned that you can actually go, okay, I'm going to go like this if I tap into everybody's stuff because I'm wide open? So do you do something for yourself to actually protect that?
Yeah, I mean, this is just the first is awareness, right? Knowing you cannot block it. The openness is only allowing. We can do is learn the skill to ride with the wave.
Gotcha.
So I learn right now because I learned all my life about the emotions myself. And I do have more of a life experience to get my skill even polished more. So now I'm knowing this is just temporary. It's coming and going anyway. So I become more calm. And I will remind myself, just be present, just to feel, then allow it happen. And to block it, it get more of the resistance, right? I just learned that because I know I can compare a fight, that's the consequences. If I don't fight, that is the different outcome. And we can be trained. Everybody can be trained, right? So that actually become my specialty, to lift people through their emotions. You know, that's not a problem. It's just the skills. We haven't learned the right skills, or we learn the wrong skills. You know, we have so many outdated information sometimes because everybody's different. Like somebody's strategy might work for them, right, but I have a different design.
That's right. Well, I think what you said was brilliant, actually, because if you leave it alone, it'll dissipate. You just have to change your mind. So, you know, like you said, awareness. Oh, guess what? I'm X. Oh, okay. I can resist it right now, keep it in place for the next 4 hours, or I can just like let it go and do something else, like reframe my mind, or, you know, look somewhere else, or read something, or, you know, to help yourself get out of it, you know. And a lot of times I'll tell myself too, it's like, you know, this is a lie that you're telling yourself, you know, right? You know, this is a lie. I know it feels like it. I know. But it's a lie. Why don't you go get a glass of water? Okay. Why don't you take a walk? Why don't you go be in nature? Okay. I don't feel like it. Okay. Well, why don't you just go outside for a second? Okay. You know, it's like talking to a kid, really. It's our little kid that we're talking to.
But that is such a great strategy. Sometimes we're just too serious. I think about we need to find some kind of a protocols, or, you know, the degree even to solve the problem. But really, it's just the choice in that moment. You just let it loose, and just like you said, well, oh, no big deal. I just change my experience for a while. right? And the more we try to find a way to solve it is based on my experience and may not get into the trap, like trap even more and deeper, other than just kind of go. No, it's just like and going in there, I couldn't get out.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you don't want to replay the pattern, right? So, and sometimes just like if your head is like really in the grip of whatever it is, close your eyes, take a nap, just reboot. That's what I call it. Just reboot yourself, and then start new, start fresh. And like you said, and I think this is so key, yes, we're all human beings, so we share that connection, but we're all different, like really different. I'm even down to the biological level. I'm like, I could be a twin sister and, we'd be totally different. It's like, she has arthritis, I never did, that kind of thing. And there's levels to that, there's a whole conversation around body, mind, spirit, right? Around, health. So.
Well, thank you for your hermit wisdom share with our audience. Well, the other tools is part of the human design system. It's called gene keys. Gene keys, if you see the Wraith mandala, is the outside with the hexagram and 64 numbers associated, and they all have this different combination by the yin and yang bar. And based on understand that actually, just like you said, that is the deeper level of ourself. We never go down there, the genetic level. That's called gene keys, right? Based on the gene number, we are not very high end. We are between the flea and the flu fright, the number of the genes. But we have a 98% of the so-called junk DNA. Like nobody knows what they're doing. There are just a lot of them in the human genome. But now we got more and more knowledge about that genome. Actually, we call it epigenome. Think about the airport, right? The gene is like airplane, up and down, all the things doing things. But those junk DNA actually is the operation tower. So they would tell you up, you down, you go, you park, right? They have all this different system. So the junk DNA actually has a lot of portals. Like once you know to activate it by speaking the right language to yourself and eating the right food and sleeping nicely, the rest, all the lifestyle issues solved, then you activate your DNA the right way. Then they're just doing their magic. The gene keys for me is the tool. The ancient tool is 8,000 some years. The gene key give us the tool to speak to ourselves. Because they got 3 different levels of conscious language. It's a vibration. So the language we pick, the low default, we call it shadow, because our programming, we always just want to see the problems, something we want to get better. So that is the default tendency, our mind will lead us through. The light and shadow is really the 2 sides of the coin, right? If you don't have a light, so you don't have a shadow. Right, but we see the shadow all the time without knowing or aware the lights is on the other side, right? So once we can flow like little kids and turn around your heads a little bit, hey, there's a light on the back. So gene keys actually teachings just be relaxed and accept who you are. So you can choose to face in the lights or stay in the shadow. And they're choosing the language so you can feel your vibrations going up by speaking the language right. Okay, let's reframe this. Let's make that activation, but you're not necessarily knowing how to. But this is the amazing tool combined with the human design, with the energy flow. Then you can modify your life pretty much on demand. Like if you're stuck in a certain point, you just contemplate it. Now I'm in the shadow, which is fine because I know the shadow and lights are together. So we are not going out to seek the solution. The only thing you just need to contemplate, like hermits, have a little space or change your reality to go out for hiking. Then your answer just show up. because that's how the innate wisdom we have. It's not outside, and it's not somebody can solve it, because it's really just our programming. Only we can let it go, right? So if that would be okay with you, I would like to share your activation sequence. The activation sequence is really just the beginning to let us know that 4 prime gifts is the core essence we're born with. The life work, that's the first sphere in the activation sequence, is 37.6. I talk about the point, like 6-2. So this is the 6, you're actually the visionary. And 37, the shadow is coming from weakness. Remember, that is not a bad thing. It's just sometimes we need to know our limits. When you are doing 37, actually it's more like community thing. So maybe you are more like a blend in to the community when you are not sure what to do things yet. But that weakness will shift to the tenderness. That means you know the forced way is not the way. You're not like that kind of, because you're friendly, right? You're kind of knowing the better way. And life world will pair with the evolution. That's kind of the doing pairs. And the 40 is your evolution. So 40 in the low vibration, because you love the community, you involve with all this body awareness from other people's pain. So you sometimes exhaust yourself. Like when you are like low, not sure the boundary yet, then you will exhaust all your resources or your vibration or emotion even. Sometimes you just become really a hermit and close the door for a while. You don't want to see anybody. Just get out from there. So that's your doing. Actually, you're involved with others, but then you also sometimes give yourself too much. But when you get in evolution, that's evolution. That's a self-love. That is understand your limitation. That is just enjoy the moment. Don't push too much. That's the evolution. Then from that exhaustion, you will have a divine will. That divine will actually is just, you can choose to take action, but you don't need to take action all the time. So you need to be inspired. Yes. And take the right action. Yes. Not otherwise you're gonna exhaust it, right? Yeah. So that's your doing part. I don't know whether you have things to add to this.
Well, I think it's right on the money, actually, where I'm at right now. And I've been definitely stepping into that and learning that around boundaries and saying no. And even though I can always see the higher good in something or the benefit in something, a lot of times I'll rush forward into it going, I can see the benefit for that and them and this and me. And, it'd be really great for that. And then I'll get into it and then I go, oh, but I've put the music behind it. Like I left it behind, and then I don't feel very good. And then it always like harkens back, but you're off your path. That's really great, but come on back, yeah, but I can't figure out how to make money off of this, so I become frozen because I don't, can't see a way through sometimes. And so right now I've just been sitting with, I don't know, and then asking for my inner guidance to like, please show me the way, so. And I'm impatient, so.
Well, that is your radiance. You're impatient. You just kind of lead us through. That's how you are so intuitive. But I think it's just the doing actually give us a lot of training opportunity. Yeah. Right? Yeah. When we really do something, we start to get confused. That's the good sign. Because we have very definite, this is what we do, then we off the course. Yeah. Because the doing and being, really the being need to be more, because that's our joy, our really the health. Once we get away from it and doing too much, then we're away from our purpose. right? Because the being, the two keys, one is radiance, another is purpose key. Like the founder of the gene keys, Richard Rod, it was just go over places. You know, your life purpose is within. Your life purpose is only you know. Your life purpose is not doing. But once you realize your life purpose, your doing will align with it. Right? But so many people doing the opposite, just do, find, you know, do all the things and think about that as going to find our like purpose, but we gotta like exhausted all the options. And that is the time finally the being will show us, say, go this way, just come in, you know. So for you, you're the first one, radiance number 5. You already say when you're in the seeking mood, you become impatient, and that is your default. And in order for you to really shift to your timelessness, you need to do some patient action and align with your joy. So when you do more things you love, then you open your inspirations coming in, and your G center is the love and direction is open too. So that means you can connect with people in a way you don't push them away, and they just come in the right timing and stuff like that. But it's really difficult for most of our generator because we're trained to do. Then your purpose key is the 35. But gene keys pairing is more like the chemical plane because they are genes. So they are actually pairing because they have some kind of a genetic connections. So your purpose 35 is called Ring of the Miracle. There's only one standing alone key. What that does is you have a hunger to look for your purpose. You will go through adventures through your life because that hunger, that seeking, that willing to go out, willing to try new things. And you finally go to this called boundlessness. You have no boundary because the hunger you think is only out, but if you have no boundary, you can in and out all the time, right? So that when you get to the higher vibrations, either through your lifestyle or just relaxations or talk to yourself nicely, give you more space and time, then you will through the hunger go through the venture and you become no boundary. And when that happens, your energy is not only money energy. Money, we need that energy. But if you're in the universal energy words, money really just a form of the 3D words. You know, we all think about, oh, we are, you know, suffering 3D, but we might be prospering in other Ds. You know, we don't know. The science actually knows the 11 dimensions. It depends on what kind of theory. Sometimes somebody says 26. And our mind is only 3D. So everything we see in the 3D not necessarily reflect everything we did, right? So purpose is within. I got timelessness, right? That's your radiance. And what in the rush? Just enjoy it, and maybe the material friend is not shining this moment, but as long as we align with our joys and we take care of ourselves and make community and other people all connected better, that is the energy, that is abundance we are rewarded to. And the money wise, I won't say now particularly we are in the shift in different age right now. Nobody know what's going on next after 2027, right? So the energy might be different. But the only thing I'm sure about is our own health, because we are our own master. You really love what you do the good projects, you share your love, you plant trees. Everything is the good energy. The next paradigm shift will need it.
So you said that my purpose was What was that again?
35 is found hunger, become no boundary.
So that's my purpose. No boundaries.
Well, this is the contemplation road, but it's a ring of miracles. That give you the hints. Once you don't need to find that purpose, you are just a miracle itself.
Wow. God, that's so weird that you just said that word. It was really amazing because I was taking a trip with my uncle, and I hadn't seen him in a long time, and it's why my mother has passed away, but it's her younger brother. And we're in the car, and he turned to me, he goes, you're a miracle, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, for real, you're a miracle. And I'm like, what? And he said that my mother was told at an early age that she wouldn't be able to have kids. Biologically, she was not. And then, so I was a surprise and a miracle. And my mother only had me, and that was it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sitting in the back of the car going, okay, for real. So, yeah. Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep. I love it. Well, I gotta use my miracle somehow.
Yeah. See, miracles everywhere, but particularly the 35, people has that one. They are witness miracle everywhere because they are the miracle itself. Wow. So they can align, they can resonate with other miracles. Well, to be honest, as a biological standpoint, I'm a molecular biologist. Everything is a miracle, even a tree, a rock, everything atomic level. A virus, a bacterial, it's all miracle because who can do this kind of thing? It was just automatic, and they have their own rhythm, know when to bloom, when to have flower in different season, and they all have this adaptation way to survive, to evolve, right? We definitely has, based on the junk DNA, this is all this miracle lying in there. We just didn't know yet at this point because our technology is not that far away. Plus, we still stay in this molecular level, the quantum level. We don't even know. For me, the human design system really just give us more tools to understand ourselves and love ourselves better, relate to others because they are all going to their own journey. They might have experience we cannot relate. The only thing we do just provide the space and provide, great music for people to relax. This is really the food you provided to people. Singing through beautiful songs and going places and performance. So I want to know more about your recent project, if you have anything to share with our audience.
Yeah, like I said, I got a new song coming out. I have a book that I've written. It's called Courage, Find Your Fire and Ignite Action in Your Life. And it's my journey. And basically, I talk about how do you have courage? And I break it down. So I go from foundation all the way through transformation when we're talking about having courage, and that there are 5 keys. So you have to have clarity, courage, confidence comes, then commitment, then community. So it's I love my book, and I did a great job, I think. I told my story, I told my journey, and I also give it's like a workbook, a handbook, so people can actually write in it, or you can I pose questions, so that's fun. What else am I doing? Right now, I'm in the midst of recording, like I said, and I am inviting an amazing booking agent to come in and, book me so I can go and perform and give my miracles.
Yes, we do need that.
Right? Actually, with a really good friend of mine, he's an artist, a visual artist, and it's basically stories and beautiful pictures. Well, they're not gentle, but they're realistic. Let's just put it that way.
That is the whole gene key thing. If you don't go to shadow, you cannot go to light. You need to go deeper to know it and clean up. That's what I call myself, holistic lifestyle mentor, but actually I'm the cleaning maid. I'm the guy to clean people's emotion and clean. So I'm here to guide you to clean, but once you clean, gosh, nobody can stop us.
Right? Absolutely. And I do embrace the light and the dark because they, like you said, they're both the yin and the yang, the up side of the coin, right? And you've got to, because if you try not to, it will haunt you for real. Absolutely. So that's it. And I'm just doing some performances and stuff like that. So
thanks so much for you to be bringing more miracles and wisdom to us, and through your own journey. Sometimes you exhaust yourself and make sure the self-care, turn your hunger, become really the driver. So how can people find you? Is it like websites or something can follow your work?
Yeah, pretty simple. You can actually go to Glenda, Glenda, music, music.com, glendamusic.com. That's easy. Or my full name, glendabenevides.com. And on the website, you can hear my music. You can see all the projects that I've done. It's full of fun stuff. You can buy merchandise. I have really fun merchandise that I support planting trees. So anytime you buy anything from me, like a t-shirt or a book or music, I get alerts. So I mark it down and then I go plant a tree at the end of the month. So I've planted about 250 trees at this point in Canada, California, the UK, Scotland. So yeah, and just a note, if you just go on a search engine and just type my name, Glenda Benevides, you'll find everything. You'll find my YouTube channel, you'll find my Instagram, you'll find Facebook. Please reach out to me, and I will respond. So.
Thanks for showing up and being who you are.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Glenda. All right, we'll see you around then. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right.